Welcome back to another episode of the Lehigh Valley Prospects podcast presented by Smith Sports Media. I'm your host, LJ Smith, and on this episode, I have the pleasure to sit alongside Ellie Schneider, a sophomore from Salisbury High School. Ellie, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm excited to sit here and kind of learn about your experiences through field hockey and how you feel your skills and talent on the field hockey field can transition to you in a potential career in college. So let's get underway. Let's start by just you talking about yourself a little bit. So you're a sophomore at Salisbury, but when did you first kind of start playing the sport of field hockey?
I started playing when I was in fourth grade, so I was 9 years old. At that point, I've played other sports like basketball for a while, but field hockey was the first sport that I actually really enjoyed, and then it kind of sparked a lot of different interests and athletics after that.
So finding that kind of niche for yourself to play field hockey, and you pick up a stick in fourth grade, playing a multitude of other sports, but that's kind of the one that you felt you could have success in.
Definitely.
Who kind of influenced you to get started?
My mom played field hockey in high school and then went to play at Muhlenberg College. So she has a lot of field hockey knowledge and she introduced me to the sport. But my father's also very athletic. He played baseball and basketball in high school, and then he played baseball at Eastern Kentucky, which is a D1 school. So my whole family is pretty athletic, but I would say that my mom was the one who inspired me to play.
That's awesome. So a very athletic, talented family, and your mom playing field hockey. So your first experience picking up a stick, was it in a youth program? Was it a club? What did that kind of look like for you?
It was in a youth program. It was Egypt Star Field Hockey. It wasn't associated with the school. And I had actually had a couple opportunities to play club field hockey, and I turned down all of them, which I am regretting now. But so I've just played through schools after that feeder program, and then I picked up club field hockey last year, which was my freshman year of high school.
Okay, so that step of you're playing in a youth program, you regrettably turned down some club opportunities, but at that, there's always a reason for those things. It may be not the right fit, right time type of scenario, but you pick up a stick, you're playing in these youth programs, you get to high school and you're starting to play club your freshman year. So talk about what that jump was from looking and playing at a level of youth program and then transitioning up through to high school and now club.
As soon as I got to high school, the intensity was definitely different. And then I joined High Styx club team, and they were definitely very intense as well. I really enjoyed club field hockey more than any other field hockey I've played. So that was definitely an adjustment that I enjoyed. I wouldn't say that it came super easy for me, because I think why I enjoy field hockey is because it was the sport that came the easiest to me. And so I started on the third team of the High Styx last year for U16. And then this year I actually was on the first team, which was a good accomplishment for me. So I enjoy it, but it was definitely a little hard at first, but now I'm liking indoor a lot too.
So that transition, you said, like field hockey came the most natural to you, but then that transition into indoor and that challenge, talk me and then the viewers through what kind of was going through your mental for that, because that's not something, you seem like a very competitive person. So when you're struggling in that regard, did that kind of make you feel like you have to attack it more and give it your all just to kind of get to square one?
100%. Indoor field hockey, for those who don't know, is a very different animal than outdoor. It's played on a different surface, has different rules. And then again, this club team was super competitive. And it was definitely hard because I wanted to make that first team. It was great because out of 5 teams, I made the third, so it wasn't the last one. But it was still like I wanted to get after that. And so I did. I definitely upped my intensity outside of the practices. I would literally wake up at 4 a.m. on school mornings and run with my stepdad because he has this program, just because I knew every minute counted.
That's impressive. That dedication level to kind of make you feel like you're getting that edge you need to be successful in the sport of field hockey. So you talk about those things. What type of skill sets do you bring to your high school team, to your club team?
I would say the biggest thing is leadership. I do pride myself in my ability to lead a team, and if I can't do anything, I communicate. No matter if I have that title or not, I will always use my voice and put something out there. I would say other qualities is very level-headed, I would say, pretty emotionally. I don't have big highs or big lows. I try to keep my cool, especially because when I'm playing the sport, it's fun for me. It's calming, no matter like the pressure.
That's awesome. So that kind of translates into the next question, your strength. So those sound like you play those to your strength very well, that level-headedness. Things don't always go your way on the field, so that's something that I can imagine would get one frustrated. But being able to stay level-headed and keep that calm emotion about yourself, but also be able to have conversations with your teammates, that leadership ability. So what other strengths could you see yourself bringing to your program?
I would say I definitely have grit. If I lose a ball, I'm going to sprint back to get it, especially because I play usually mid in defense. So if it gets past me, it's on me. I'm pretty confident on the ball. I'm definitely bigger than most of the girls around me, and that could be in strength as well.
So you mentioned midfield defender position. Is that something you've played throughout your entire field hockey journey, or has there kind of been exploration with attack and forward?
When I was younger, I definitely played every position besides goalie. I've always been a midfielder, and especially through my high school career, I've been playing midfield. And once I joined my club team, I started to play outdoor, but I started an indoor in defense, even though there's only 5 positions, so it kind of made sense. But then I went to outdoor, and they were putting me on defense positions, and that was definitely a transition because I really didn't see myself as a defender, but I also just haven't had exposure to that position. So that was a challenge, but it also has strengthened my defense skills.
So talk a little bit about the transition from playing with your high school team and your club team, specifically outdoor. When you're used to playing one position and you transition into a new position, do you feel a struggle or pressure that maybe you're not exceeding up to the expectation?
Not necessarily. I would say that I just don't have the confidence that I usually do in my comfortable position. So that could definitely be a struggle, and it was a little bit, but then I adjusted it. I knew that even though like sometimes it feels like defense isn't one of those really important positions, it really is one of the most important positions. So I took that into kind of that leadership role of like, this is just as important. I need to work just as hard. And now I actually have the breath to communicate to my team.
That's excellent to have the capability and the confidence in yourself that you're taking from these outside experiences from club to bring them into your high school team. You mentioned club opportunities and being with High Styx. So how have you felt that club hockey has kind of prepared you for high school, like to improve throughout the high school career, but also those tools leading into college?
I would say for club going to high school, there was an immediate big difference in just having a lot of new skills and being coached in a way that I hadn't before, which is super important to me. So I was able to make my basic skills even better, but also learn new things about position and just how to handle the ball. I also came out with a bigger intensity that I thought I did not have my freshman year.
Playing your freshman year, joining a club, did you notice that a speed difference, anything like that, to kind of like, oh, wow, this is a stark difference, especially it being indoor?
Yeah, the intensity levels, the speed, especially like you said, indoor is so much faster. And I still struggle to adjust to that, but I'm hoping to get better. Yeah, the club team intensity coming from that to go back to high school, it was like, oh, wow, this is so much easier.
So it definitely, that pressure that's kind of added with indoor and a club team, taking that back to high school for your sophomore season, you felt better prepared, all of those kind of things to make you take the next step as a leader, as an athlete.
Yeah, 100%. For my high school team, I definitely play a big role. I'm always on the field, and I do have a leadership role. I see myself that I have a leadership role even though I don't have a title. And then coming from being pretty much the captain of my indoor team, I had even more confidence to put my voice out there. And I definitely think behind the scenes, I was doing a lot as a leader for my high school team.
Excellent. So taking those opportunities and taking that into your sophomore season after your first season of club, any type of accolades or accomplishments that you set out for yourself, but anything outstanding that you've kind of seen throughout your season?
So I really do not like to compare myself to others. I try as hard not to, but of course it happens sometimes. So my goal was to be better skilled than one of the players on my team who I've been looking up to for so many years, and to be faster than one of the fastest girls on our team. And at the beginning of their season, we do a mile run, and I got first, and I actually beat the girl that I wanted to be faster than, so I checked that off my box. And by the end of the season, it wasn't really said, but I felt that confidence that I was having better skills than the one girl that I wanted to. And they're both amazing players, and we have different skill sets and we're different players, but I would say that that was my goal, and I definitely accomplished them.
So setting those kind of intrinsic goals for yourself to motivate you from a team level, looking up to them as peers and other tremendous athletes, but setting that goal for yourself to be like, I look up to them, I admire them, but I also want to be better than them. So that natural competitive nature, that's impressive. Some big games that you may have played in throughout your 2 seasons here.
During my freshman year of high school field hockey, we made districts, and it was kind of like a qualifier district game. We ended up losing, and we actually struggled to even make districts, but it was our goal at the beginning of the season to make it. And for what we had at the time, especially for me being a freshman and not really knowing what our program was like, it was definitely an accomplishment for our team. And then I played indoor, and I joined that club team, and our U16 team qualified for nationals. So we played at nationals, and that was really great. It was more of an experience than wanting to win, especially because the third team usually does not qualify. So just being able to be there and play at a really high competitive level was a great experience. And then my sophomore year, so this year, for high school field hockey, we made leagues and districts. We were runner-up for both those games, and it was an amazing experience being able to connect with my team in a way that we had never, and just being able to be there and be on a field with those broadcasters on the side. It was a really big accomplishment for not just our Salisbury field hockey team, but for our entire school. So although we didn't get that gold medal, it was a great experience and a big accomplishment.
So you mentioned kind of feeling the magnitude of what those games are. So you're warming up on the field. What's going through your head? You see the broadcasters on the side. You see all the pomp and circumstance that goes into these championship games. Although you don't come out on the winning side, there's still things to take away from those big events.
Yeah, I mean, when I'm warming up, they're definitely there, and my teammates are talking about them. But once that whistle blows and the game starts, I don't even hear the crowd. My coaches will ask me if they heard like things that people have said on the sidelines, or even the other players on the field. I don't even hear it because I am so focused, and I hear my teammates' voices, and that's it.
Locking into that moment for sure. Taking it in as what it is. You're looking around, you're all these people here, but then as soon as the whistle blows, game time to go to work.
Yeah.
Love that. Those big games you played in, you're now in the off season, probably playing club. So any club games, any type of tournaments you're looking forward to for this upcoming off season?
Yeah, so this weekend from Friday to Sunday, I have nationals again for my U16 team, and this will be the last tournament for indoor of our season. I'm very excited for it. We already have some of the schedule, and we're going to be playing some really good competition. I have not connected to a team like this. They're great. They are hilarious. They are focused, and I'm really excited to see what will happen.
So being able to buy in with the other personalities there, that definitely something that you take pride in, is being able to connect with your teammates, because you essentially have sometimes 2, maybe 3 different sets of teams you're playing with throughout club and your high school, whether it's indoor and outdoor for club. Do you feel a difference from team to team? Are there other dynamics that you kind of notice or kind of play off of more than like one? You don't have to specify, but kind of you feel those differences.
Yeah, so the club team is composed of so many different schools. which I actually really like because I'm only seeing that side of them, which, like, for me, I'm really different between school and sports because sports, I am very of a focused player. And so being able to just see that is kind of nice in a way. And having so many different players who have been coached by different coaches, being able to take their styles in, I really appreciate.
And you saying that just made me think of this question. So you're playing for your high school program, you're playing for a club program where there are multiple coaches. How important has it been to see different coaching styles, even throughout your youth program days to where you are now? How has that kind of shaped you into the athlete you are today?
Right now, in my club team, I'm being coached by college coaches, all different divisions, and it is great. It is exactly what I've been looking for. I really like the directness, and they do all have very different styles, but it is really great to get those different comments because one person might have something that someone else just hasn't seen in you, and that could give you hope, or that could just make you look at yourself in a different way and push yourself.
I think that's exactly kind of the answer I was looking for, because you're seeing and hearing so many different things from coaches that may be the same thing, but just nuanced a little differently. So they're like, I see you with this. I think you should hone in on this. But to you, that could be like, oh, I've never heard that before from a coach. Like, that's excellent. So now I'm ready to go. I'm ready to work. So that type of mentality of having an opportunity to work with so many different coaches has been a benefit throughout your career as an athlete.
Yeah. And I wouldn't just say that coaches have helped me with that, especially now that I'm playing with other athletes who have that leadership qualities as well. Being able to hear from them and get to take away what things that I do, things that I say that work and don't, is also a really great thing that I haven't had before.
So having student-led or athlete-led leadership accountability, seeing that from other athletes, and you kind of aspiring and picking up on that, knowing like, all right, now I like how they do this. I want to work like them. So setting that intrinsic goal, like you just mentioned before, that's impressive to have that type of mindset as a sophomore going into your junior year, to be able to pick up on those things and kind of settle in like, yes, like I want to be like them and I know how I can do that. That's awesome. Transitioning a little bit before we go, let's do some rapid fire questions. All right. What is your go-to spot to eat in the Lehigh Valley?
I actually have some like food restrictions. I'm lactose intolerant and
Okay.
I'm allergic to a few things. So I try not to eat out, but I would have to say Pliable.
Pliable? Okay. Yeah, that's excellent. Go to order. What's the thing you get? Your favorite thing you get?
I really like their smoothies. I like anything with banana and peanut butter.
Okay. I like that for sure. What is a routine or a superstition you have on game day you have to do on game day?
I'm Roman Catholic, and so I always wear this cross, and that's even when I'm playing, even though I don't like to shower with it or get it all dirty, but that's just something that I have to do. I also pray. And then also I wear 2 different Hawk socks, which I've heard other athletes do, because I used to, my freshman year, wear a certain pair for away games and home games because I felt that I would do differently, and then it wasn't working, so I switched it my sophomore year and I still haven't worked.
That's awesome. Apparently that's something that's working for you, and I hope that continues to bring success. The idea of what you were saying as well with praying and religion, bringing that in, the kind of safe space, grounding you back to where you feel you're ready to compete. Awesome. Last question. You have the aux cord. What's one song you're going to play for warm-ups?
Meet Me Halfway by Black Eyed Peas, which is our Salisbury field hockey's favorite song currently.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. Some Black Eyed Peas, never a bad option for sure.
I am in charge of the playlist for field hockey too, so
I got the right person on the podcast. That's perfect. Transitioning now out of just game material, but now looking at field hockey as a whole for you, and how important field hockey seems to be as you're looking to go across this journey into field hockey and play in college. What has been and is your favorite part about playing and being a part of the field hockey world?
I would have to say that it's just a space that I don't have anywhere else. Even playing other sports, field hockey is just different. The community is very respectful, I would say.
So now, what is something you like to do outside of your sport of field hockey? Something you, when you're not thinking about field hockey, what are things you like to do?
I actually have a lot of hobbies, which are very difficult to balance during sports. But I would say I love art. I've always loved art. I like drawing. I like anything that includes that. I write. My job right now actually is I write for the Salisbury paper. I'm the student columnist.
All right, excellent.
I also play the guitar, which I just picked up, but I'm loving.
All
It's
right,
pretty relaxing.
awesome. So different talents kind of keeping you calm, sane outside of the field hockey world. Any type of clubs or organizations you're a part of with the school?
I'm part of SGA, which is Student Government Association. Really, that might be my favorite club because we just do all the spirit pep rallies and whatnot. And there's a lot of great people in that club. I'm in Key Club, which is almost charity organization. We run like canned food drives. We go different places to help out and volunteer. I just put in my application for NHS, which is National Honor Society. I'm really hoping I get into that because that would be a great opportunity. And that's pretty much all I'm part of right now. Been in newspaper journalism, which really enjoyable, and that actually got me into my job that I have now.
So very multifaceted and hoping to get a National Honor Society, all those other extracurriculars kind of setting you on a way that you're going to have your hand in so many different things that you can pull the good, the bad, the indifferent from everything and kind of help that guide you through when you're looking for college. If you're not in school, obviously academics play a big role, but something you like to do other than field hockey outside of a school setting.
Always try to fill my time up. If I don't, I'm usually just thinking about the things I should be doing. But if I'm like very calm and I have absolutely nothing, I love movies.
Okay.
I love watching movies and I love reading as well. Sometimes I'll watch the movie before reading the book, which I might get some hate on. I love being with my family. I have a ton of cousins who live really close by, and now that they could all drive, we usually hang out a lot, and I play video games with them because they're mostly boys. I have a whole bunch of friends who I try to hang out with, and most of them play field hockey because that's the only time I get to see them.
Any additional things that you do outside of school that maybe sets you apart from others kind of in your situation right now?
I'm an ambassador for a company. It's called Underdog Athletics. It's a Christian athletic brand, which I really love being a part of that community because I've never really seen religion being placed into sports just because they are sometimes controversial with each other. So far, it's been a really amazing experience to be able to have a voice and help out in something that I love. Both two things I love.
That's incredible. Haven't heard that so far in an episode, but that is an awesome experience to be an ambassador for a brand that you take pride in. That's something that's meaningful to you. That's excellent. Good for you. I'm very impressed. Now, talking and thinking about the next level, obviously you're only a sophomore, you're having your club experiences and looking to go into your junior year playing field hockey here at Salisbury. What kind of schools are you looking into? Are there programs in particular? Are there divisions you're looking at? Kind of set the tone of what you're thinking for post high school.
I'm pretty open to mostly everything right now. I would say a higher division and a higher program for athletics in general, because I know that even if I wouldn't get starting time, being able to play against great competition is going to make me grow. I've seen it through my club team, and I'm still trying to figure out different things. I think I want to go into a marketing field, maybe communications, maybe psychology, but right now I'm pretty fixed on marketing, but that's really the only things that I've narrowed down to at this point.
Are you considering kind of spreading out, going further away, staying closer to home? Have you put any thought into that?
I definitely want to go farther, which my parents might be a little upset about, but I definitely want the benefits of in-state tuition, but I really want to experience whatever's out there that I haven't had experience with yet.
Yeah, absolutely. These are just kind of general questions, obviously not set in stone, but just kind of getting a feel for what you're thinking to kind of put yourself out there. You mentioned kind of all divisions, but higher level, higher athletic ability. How do you feel like you've been exposed to that from working with High Styx? And you mentioned being coached by college coaches, so you're seeing that level of success then brought to a club level.
with all different divisions having success, and then bringing that coaching to me has really made me want to be a part of that. Coach Marcy is the head Kutztown coach, and I love her coaching style, and she's really shown me specifically how such a successful team is coached, and I really want to be a part of something just like that.
Excellent. So having those kind of people surrounding you is only going to build you up. And obviously them being a college coach, they know other college coaches. So you playing in these tournaments, you getting the exposure, and you also playing for a program like Salisbury, getting you experience and playing in front of college coaches. So when you're going to a tournament and you see other college coaches, you're obviously being coached by college coaches, so it's not like as intimidating. But if you're lining up on the field and you see other college coaches kind of watching, what's going through your head? What's your mindset in that?
So even with being coached by college coaches, a lot of the girls that I've had to try out with for my club team will say things because they're nervous and they get intimidated, but that kind of gives me more of a drive, just knowing that they're watching and they're there and this is my time and I don't want to mess up. And that's definitely gives a little bit of pressure, but it's more of confident, like I know what to do. I'm going to do this. And usually, again, when I'm playing, I'm focused, so I'm not really looking over at them to see like what they're doing or what they're looking at. But even when I know they're there or not, I try to play at the highest level that I can.
So trying not to be distracted by that, almost using it as a driving force to make you play the game you know how to play. You're not really over-elevating, going back to that even-keeled situation you talked about at the beginning of the podcast, just being able to kind of hone in, play your game, not get too high, not get too low.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Ellie, thank you so much for spending time with me on this episode of the Lehigh Valley Prospects podcast. It's been a pleasure to talk to you about your experiences in field hockey, your aspirations of field hockey, and hopefully leading into a very good college career. So thank you, Ellie, for taking the time on this episode with me.
Thank you so much. I appreciate this.
Ellie Schneider from Salisbury High School, a sophomore looking to advance her career, heading into her junior season next year, finishing her club season with High Styx this coming season. Ellie, thank you for your time. Thank you for tuning in to the Lehigh Valley Prospects podcast presented by Smith Sports Media. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel searching Lehigh Valley Prospects Podcast. You can stream the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts searching Lehigh Valley Prospects Podcast. Follow us on social media on Instagram at LV Prospects Podcast, on X at LV Prospects, and on Facebook at Lehigh Valley Prospects Podcast. Until next time, I'm your host, LJ Smith, signing off.